Hello again, guys and gals. I am Jim Bob. Welcome back to Big Bud Farm, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. So I'm going to do a contract job. I'm going to do a very long contracting job. You're not going to see the majority of that because it's going to take me probably about 5 to 6 hours to do it. But we do need to raise some money before I can do it, because I want to lease a combine header. We're going to be harvesting corn on field 4 as soon as it grows its final growth stage. And the header that we have at the moment is the smaller of the two headers. It's the 9-meter header, and we want the 12-meter header, so that we can select the 9-meter option on the provided equipment and then use a 12-meter header instead and get a bigger cash bonus. And we don't have the money to actually afford the lease on one yet, so we're going to sell this load of logs here, this full trailer, and hopefully this will give us enough money to actually lease the header that we want. It's going to be interesting to see just how much we get from this. This is going to be our first trailer full of 8-meter long log cuts. This is the trailer we were going to sell last episode, and then we had the great demand, which allowed us to clear our debt. But there's just equipment that I want to bring in that I haven't been able to bring in yet. So I figured we haven't done a contract job for a while. Let's get a contract job done, earn a nice big chunk of cash, and take it from there. So gotta remember, this thing always tips on the left only. So there we go, trailer in position. Let's unstrap the logs and let's see how much we make. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. We made just under 50,000 from that, and it was such a smooth action there. Just no issues whatsoever, just one simple tip, boom, done. I love this trailer. This is such a great trailer. So we have the money to lease the header that we need now. So let's go drop this back off at our logging plant, which means we need to take this turn here. I can almost afford to buy a second one of these trailers. But I'm actually going to be buying the BSM truck today. Once we've got the contract job out of the way and earned that money, we're going to be buying the Legend. Now, I've been wanting it as soon as it came out, and just we're a long way off without doing contract work, so I don't want to have to wait another few weeks before we get our hands on one of those for the farm. I want it now, so I've been patient. I've waited, what, 3 episodes. And now, enough is enough. It's time to actually get one of those on the farm. So, park this back up. There we go. Engine off. And let's go into the store. So, the header that we want is one of these. The Quasar HS16s. In fact, we could almost buy one of these outright. Let me go to our combines. I think we've only got one corn header at the moment. This is the combine that's been used a lot. Let's use this one. It's been used a lot less. Oop, we're still connected. Disconnect. There we go. I think, yeah, let's sell this and we'll actually buy that combine header outright. It'll make doing our own work easier for when we come to actually plant corn on our own fields. So I'm going to drive this over to the store and sell this header, and then we'll buy the other one, and then we can take that over to the field ready for the harvest. So I will see you in just a moment. Well, the forest is really starting to look a little bit threadbare now that we've been cutting down some of those trees. But it's good, you know, it shows that we're making some progress on that and making some money. So that last load of logs, that was a really nice little payment there. So we still got several 100,000 left in that forest, it would seem, before we have to do a complete replant. Right, let's drop the header off. There we go. I wonder how much we'll get for this. Let's just find out. 34, 30, nearly 35,000. That's not bad. There we go. So we can actually buy one of those quasar headers outright, which just makes sense. It saves us having to buy one later, because there will come a time when we'll need one. Let's put it in New Holland yellow and buy that. There we go. And transport that over to field 4. We still need it to grow one final stage, but we also need our crops to grow one final stage as well, or one more stage, so that we can apply the final stage of fertilization. So while we're working on that field, we can at least get, you know, one of those fields fertilized with a worker, which would be handy. So I'm going to drop this over to the bottom of field 4. I will see you in just a moment. Alright, so we're going to drop this header here on the side of the field, because our equipment will probably spawn in the middle. In fact, I'm almost certain it will do. I'm going to actually position this right up against the field, so we literally just have to drive up to it, connect it, and carry straight on. Why do I get the feeling I've gone for the wrong shade of yellow there? Right, well there we go, that's detached and ready. So it's going to move this out of the way now. There we go. So we need to turn the hazards off there. We need to get ready to do a final stage of fertilization. So we're going to need our weeder for this. Oops. And we are also going to need to change the tyres over to narrow. Oh, I've just seen how little fuel is in this thing. There we go. I love that I can actually use this building as a proper workshop now with the toolbox mod. It makes all the difference, it really does. Right, so we're going to need to top our fuel levels up. Fuel tanker is just the other side of this shed. There we go. So, a quick fill up and then we'll get it started on, excuse me, we'll get it started on field 3. Well, I suppose I should have seen this coming. We have another great demand, and it's for wheat. That's right, the crop that we've just sold all of our supplies of now has a second great demand at the same time, and it's higher than the one that we had to start with. Oh, what a cruel twist of fate. So, as the Valley grains that we sold at started, you know, a little bit higher than it is now, and just dropped a bit, and then kept on dropping. As you can see, the dyno's gone straight in at what, $499, effectively $500 per 1,000 litres, which is higher than Valley Grains ever was. So that may even go up as well, which would really, really be a kick in the balls if that's the case. But, you know, it is what it is. So, right. As you can see, we are fertilising away, which means everything has grown. You can see we have yellow corn on that field over there. So let's jump over to there. Field 5, there we go. And let's take on the job. So that's offering the HS16. We don't want that header. That's the one we want. So let's start this job. We're offering 400,000, and as you can see, a huge amount of time. We're going to get this done probably in around about 6 hours or so, which is why I'm starting recording at like 2 in the morning, so that I have plenty of time to get this done, and then I can edit it, start uploading it. Oh, I don't need that header, do I? It's a force of habit. Start uploading it, get it scheduled, and then I can sleep. And this will probably release while I'm still sleeping. We'll see. But yeah, we'll get this job started, and we'll make a nice, serious amount of money. Certainly enough to be able to buy the Legend truck. And I want to start saving up for cows as well, because I figure, that's going to be a good way for us to actually avoid, some of these huge expenses that we are suffering from at the moment. Is the fact that we're just paying through the nose for leasing, well, not leasing costs, but running costs on our equipment at the moment, and we have no income at all apart from whatever we sell. So having cows and being able to sell the milk every day at midnight should, once we get enough of them, offset the costs of our animal upkeep and our running costs, which are currently around 23,000. If we can get 50 cows, that'll be if we can get 100 cows, that'll be around about 40,000, I think, in milk income. So that'll just about cover what our equipment costs and animal upkeep, etc. will be. And then beyond that, we'll be looking to make profit. But yeah, we've got to start saving up. We don't just need to have 500,000 to buy 500 cows, or 550 if you count the 10% delivery charge. But we're also going to need another probably 300,000 for equipment on top of that as well. We're going to need a mixer. We're going to need some other bits and bobs. We're going to need storage areas. We're going to need all sorts of stuff. So yeah, a lot of expenses to get our cows set up. We're probably looking at around 750,000 money. $750,000 cash required to actually get our cows up and running with a number of 100. And then we've obviously got to make all the silage and TMR and get more grass cut and baled and ready for the food troughs, and yeah, quite hefty expenses to get going. So we'll probably have to do another couple of contract jobs to get those up and running as well. But I'm going to sort of jump ahead now. You'll see me do little random pop-ins as we work on this field, and then we'll get to sort of a new truck once this job is done. So I'll see you in a little while. Well, we're at the 1/4 stage. We're about 2 hours into this job, and my initial thought said I'll get this done in about 6 hours. Wrong. I was thinking of the 45-foot draper headers, which are a little bit wider than these. So yeah, it's probably going to take me about 8 hours to do this job, not 6. So this is definitely going to be a long one, but we'll get a really nice payout at the end of it. We're going to get, what, 400 grand for the job, plus probably another couple of 100,000, I think, maybe for the time bonus, or at least 150, I would imagine. So we're looking at easily over 500,000, which is good, because we kind of need the money. But yeah, a long way to go still. Well, it turns out I'm a bit of a muppet. I completely forgot that I was going to need a fuel tank, because I was going to run out of fuel on this job. So I decided to jump across after doing about 3 hours worth of harvesting. And you can see just in front of me there's my pickup truck with the fuel tank attached to it. I actually grabbed the big bud because it was closest to this vehicle, so I could alternate between the two and just bring the fuel truck over here. And I wasn't paying attention, and the clock ran down a bit too far as I got halfway down the side of the field, and boom, end of mission. Mission fail. So I've just wasted 3 hours, and now I'm driving the combine back up to the spawn reset point because I had to reset my header because it was somewhere buried in the middle of that field. Just got dropped wherever I was working when I failed the mission. So now I've got to start all over again. This is going to be one long recording session. Okay, so header's been retrieved. I've unfolded it, popped it in position on the edge of the field there, as you can see. So let's jump across to this point here. Let's pick up the mission again. That's the wrong size header. That's the one we just put down. We want the smaller header. Nope, it's the same one. That's the same one again. Come on, don't do this to me. There we go. That's the one we want. So you can see the difference there by going with the header that is 4 rows shorter, i.e. 3 meters shorter. We're getting an extra 99,000. Well, essentially an extra 100,000 in wages for this job. So combine that with the increased time bonus, which will probably nearly double the time bonus. We're going to be looking at a very hefty chunk of money, but it's going to take me probably best part of 9 hours to do this job. So it's now 25 past 5 in the morning. So by the time I finish recording this, I'm going to be absolutely exhausted, and by the time I've finished editing it, it'll be about time to release it anyway. So yeah, I was planning to get this all done and dusted and uploaded as a scheduled video so I could sleep when it was being released. And that's not going to be the case now. I'm going to have to be awake as I'm releasing it, I think. But we'll start the job. Let's drive on over, hook up to the header, and get underway again. All that wasted time. Over 3 hours of going up and down and up and down and up and down, and well, if I didn't need the money so badly, I would have just gone screw it, just moved on to something else. But I've already recorded half an episode. We need the money, so screw it. It's just going to be an even longer job, but we are going to do this. We are going to finish this one off. So 12:49 on the clock. Let's start that running again. Alright, so it's currently 10 to 11 in the morning. I gave up in the end, and I had to take a break and at least get a couple of hours of sleep. So I've had about, I don't know, 2.5 hours sleep, I think. And back at it to finish this harvesting job off. A little over a third of the way through the field, so I've still got probably another 6 hours of harvesting to go. So this means this episode is going to be a little late today. I was toying with the idea of actually just releasing it on Sunday instead, but I'm releasing some Sunday's episode of City Skylines in its place a day early. Got to swap those two videos over, but I can't edit that video either without closing down Farming Sim, which means cancelling the job, and I'm not gonna cancel this job for a second time. So I'm stuck with this open until it's concluded now. So yeah, a bit of a long trek to go until this episode is complete and then edited and uploaded and ready for release. So better keep pushing on. Like I say, it's just over a third of the way through the job, so we're probably looking at another 6 hours or so of harvesting. So that's my sort of little update for you there, and I'll catch up with you again in a little while. So I tried to power through, but it was just too much. couldn't handle it, so I ended up having to sleep for quite a lot of the day. I was, starting to zigzag all over the place, and I wasn't feeling very comfortable trying to stay awake any longer. So I went to bed and I slept for a good 8 hours. So that's why this video is no longer a Saturday video, but a Sunday video. Unless I push this out really, really, really late, sometime around midnight. Because I've still got a lot of work to go, as you can see. I've still got a third of the field to do. And that's, several hours. Then I've got to process, edit, do the rest of the recording after this bit as well. So this is looking like it may well just be a Sunday morning video now rather than a Saturday night video. We'll see. It'll definitely be late. It should have been up about 2-3 hours ago. So apologies. Sometimes, you just have to listen to what your body's telling you, and when it starts to shut down, you better shut up and drop whatever you're doing and pay attention. So I'm going to finish the rest of the field off, and then we'll spend some money. Alright, so it's time for a quick pit stop, quick refuel. I should be close enough now. There we go. Just stick a little bit more fuel in this thing. There's no point putting in a full tank, because that's just wasting money. But it definitely needs a bit more. So if we get it to around, say, 500 litres, that should hopefully be enough to finish this field off. And if not, we've always got the truck down here that we can add a little bit more in as well. So there we go. Look at that. Bang on 500. It's like the first thing that's gone right so far today. So we're going to attack from the opposite end of the field now and make our way back towards the truck. And hopefully within the next couple of hours I can have this thing done, finally. Right, I'm going to carry on. I will check in with you in a little while. We have literally worked through the night, both in terms of the game and reality, in so many ways, to get to this point where this field is almost done. As you can see, that we've got 8 hours on the combine, almost done on this field now. So I just can't wait for this to be over. I mean, I started recording this at what, 2 AM yesterday in the morning, around 2 AM ish, and then I had the screw up where I accidentally broke the mission after about three plus hours of harvesting. And then after that, I kept going and put in another few hours, and then just had to give up and got some sleep, and got a couple hours of sleep, came back when I got woken up, and tried to push forward and do the job as quick as I could, and just, I couldn't cope with it. My brain was still frazzled and fried, so slept for several more hours, a long time, most of the afternoon. Got up, and now I've been continuing harvesting, and now it is just a couple of minutes before 11 o'clock in the evening. So this is a job that was started 24 hours ago. Well, not 24 hours ago, but over 20 hours ago, 21 hours ago nearly. And we are almost done with it. You can see that the circle now has got no visible line, just a tiny, tiny little nick right in the very top. So we should be finishing this any moment now. I'm really looking forward to a nice big payout. We had 1,240 minutes on the clock. We're down to 760, so we've used 480 minutes So we do a quick bit of mental maths. That is around about 8 hours, you know, pretty much exactly 8 hours. As you can see by the little display in the bottom, it says 8.0, but you do 480 divided by 60, it is exactly 8. There's no decimals, there's no points or anything after that. You know, it bang on 8 hours. Obviously, we're at just a fraction over that. But yeah, it's been a long job, and I just can't wait for it to be finished. I want to spend that money. I want this job to be done, and I want to be able to just walk away from this field. Oh, and there we go. We're done. Oh, look at that time bonus. 183,000. That's nice. That's really nice. Look at that. We've got just under $600,000. Oh, I am so pleased that we have finally finished this job. So, we're going to need to go and collect our header. We're going to do that later. Let's go get in our truck, first of all. Alright, so there we go. It's time to make a trip over to the store, because we are going to buy ourselves a brand new truck. We are going to buy ourselves a BSM Legend. Been waiting for one of these impatiently. You know, it's been out for a little while now, and we just haven't had the money. Now we do. Now we'll be buying ourselves a Legend. I'm in two minds as to whether or not to trade in the Twin Star. I may possibly keep the Twin Star, just to make tipping runs a little bit better, where I can actually, you know, tip two different vehicles at the same time. Because it's a lot of work to drive a big bud at 19 miles an hour from one cell, you know, from the farm to a sell point, just to empty one trailer and then come back again at 19 miles an hour and put it away. It's a lot of hassle, a lot of effort, which is why I haven't really been doing that. And obviously a Twin Star is a lot faster than that, so it gives us more options. Let's move alongside our trailers here. And we're going to deposit the fuel truck there. We'll deal with that later. And here we go. BSM Legend. So we want a back attacher. Always take the back attacher. Main colour. I think this is the actual body of the tractor, of the truck. We're going to go with white, obviously. Wheel setup, we want white tyres. Rim colour, we want white rims. Design, we want the oversized load. The design colour, we're going to put a little flash of black on the side of our truck. And we want the protection. We want that wind guard. So there we go, 215,000. Truck is bought, and there it is. There is our 950 Legend. So this is actually getting patched very soon. Obviously, if you remember from the video I showed you, the raising third axle there just doesn't pick up dirt at the moment. BSM have seen that, and they have already patched that issue, or they've fixed it, you know, at their end. You know, so we should be getting a patch for the Legend pretty soon that will deal with that. So let's jump in the cab of our brand new truck, take it for a quick spin. bring her in here. She's really manoeuvrable for a truck this size as well. Really manoeuvrable. And there we go. Look how big this beast is in comparison to our little twin star. Of course, this is the sleeper cab version. There is a day cab version that's being worked on. We will be getting that at some point in the not too distant future from BSM. We've just got to wait for that to happen. But do I want to keep the twin star? Well, we've got 7 hours on it. Let's go see how much it's worth. It might be worth trading it in. It might be worth just getting rid of it entirely. We'll have a look. Because I could theoretically just keep it here as my lumber truck and use the Legend to pull my grain and my bales and so on and so forth. It depends how much this is actually worth, considering how many hours we've got on it. For some reason my timer keeps popping an alarm now, and I don't know why, because it shouldn't do. Right, there we go. Sorry about that. A loud bingly bongly. So it's worth 82,000. That's come down quite a bit. That's because it's been used a lot. How much is it costing us in maintenance? This is the other thing I'm worried about as well. Our maintenance costs are ridiculously high at the moment for everything. So we actually want... here we go, vehicle overview. Where is the twin star? We don't have to worry about maintenance costs for our Juno, which is good. Where is the twin star? Am I missing it? Have I gone past it? Oh, there it is. So it's costing us $840 a day in maintenance. You can see if we were to sell it direct without bringing it here to the store, it'd only be worth 68,000. So we're getting an extra 13,000 by bringing it here. Well, nearly 14,000. But yeah, I'll have a think about that. We might sell this. I'm going to turn the engine off. I might sell it. I might keep it. I might keep it purely just to run my lumber truck up and down there from our little forest to the sawmill. That's probably what I'll end up doing with it, but I'll think about that over the next few days. So there we go. We have ourselves a BSM Legend in all its wonderful, wonderful glory. I'm going to get some lights on. There we go. Look at it. It's a beast, and we have one. And I'm so happy that we finally have one of these on the farm. So it's going to make transporting grain so much faster and easier as well. And it just looks awesome. So thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I will catch you back on the farm very soon.